Hello, Animal Messages with Julie.
Outside, please. May I go outside? Please. Poopies, poopies, outside.
Okay, so today's topic is presents
Come on, Cassidy.
for animals and food for animals. Presents and food and grief. We're recording this around the time of the holidays. So many topics we could do. But what you just heard was pet buttons, pet communication buttons. So they take, okay, let me take this one apart. For two AAA, that's all. And here's the, that's over here. Here it is. Here's the record button. So it's easy peasy, and this is a speaker. Easy peasy. I think I paid $15 for 4 of these, a package of 4 of okay, go back in, please. All right. And so this one I can reprogram them if I want. This one says outside if we press it. And there's one that says treats. So at the holidays, if you're thinking of presents for your dogs or cats and you're home for a while, you can play around with this. And I got it on Amazon. Like I said, AAA battery, 2 in each of them, easy to record. You don't need an app. These were developed pre-app. So because your dog, your cat, they know what they want. Anyway, so that's one
they're
present.
telling you, so you use these for them to tell you what they want?
Yes.
Okay.
And they can be recorded with anything. Like, okay, let me record this one. Give me treat or you're a bitch.
Give me treat or you're a bitch.
Wow.
So,
Wow,
I mean, it's fun for the whole family.
Yeah, it is.
I can see some post people recording crazy things, and then the dog boop bops on it.
Sorry, I'm the one that says I won't say it right now.
Oh yeah, we won't say because this is a public video. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's one that says treats, give me treats, but I didn't want to set that one off in case the animals on the show understand it. More gifts. All right. This one has L-tryptophan in it. Okay, chew and heal, anti-anxiety and stress. So during the holidays, some of your animals, well, routines are different. People come and go. There could be weather events, and they need a little anti-stress. So this is L-tryptophan. So it's like eating turkey, right? And smells pretty good. And they've got a chart on the back, which I cannot read, but it's got size. Does it have sizes on it? Somewhere on here has sizes on it. Sizes of your dog. 1 treat for 25 pounds, 4 treats for 80 pounds, something like that. So and it's like I said, it's got L-tryptophan. So they'll just go to sleep with this type of treat. I think this is this a container of 30? Can't see, but they have them in bigger. So that's a gift, or if you're grandma or grandpa and you've got the grand baby, that's a dog. That's a little active. Here you go. Also, your chewers. Now these, sometimes they're in at the Costco, sometimes they're not. They actually were like 2 of these bags for $90 on Costco.com, and then it was out of stock within 3 days. So we're still having issues getting these things in stock. So if you see them, grab them. They're just called bull sticks, and that's what they look like. They don't really smell. They smell a little bit, but not. And they just keep chewing on them, Now, dogs like you see on Patrick's house, Farley and Cassidy would go through this in maybe an hour. Like a pit bull will go through it in an hour. A Papillon, it takes a week. So, yep, I carry these in my car for my chewers. Be careful with puppies, depending upon the breed of your puppy. Their teeth are different. The puppy teeth are different than the grown teeth. But these like are excellent. Like if you got a chewer, if your grandbaby's a chewer, now this will cost you $40, this bag of 12, or you could buy a bag of 12, grab 2 of them, wrap it up. So every holiday in the year, you've got another gift for the dog. But I carry these when I visit houses because I get an hour, we get an hour for me and the person to talk and meet, and they show me where the food is and etc. And the dog is occupied chewing this. So it's also great during the holidays in that they're chewing on this instead of chewing on a guest chew or chewing on an electrical cord or etc. etc. So, you know, my friends and I, these were $28. Now they're up over 40 to 45 for this bag. And we're still buying them because they get us so much peace. I mean, as a human, they give me an hour of peace.
Sometimes
So I can
we
meet
need that.
Yeah, and sometimes we need that so we can concentrate. And if you're having people over and it's an anxious time for your dog, certain dogs love people and certain dogs are like, there's people in my house and I don't know what's happening. Oh. So then give them one of these, they'll chew, chew, chew. Sometimes they can be so anxious they won't even chew on it. Like they're so upset, they're like not even putting anything in their mouth, which that's pretty upset for a dog. So bully sticks, they're actually called bull. Around where I am, we call them bully sticks. There we are. Well worth the $45 for 12. Okay, more food. These. So you got an animal that loves treats, right? This can be big dogs too. Big dogs, little dogs, okay? I love Charlie Bear. There's hardly any calories to this. I get the grain-free ones. I think I was able to pick this up at PetSmart. Most of the pet supply stores, they're super, they're crunchy. And you can break them in half for your smaller dogs. And they're dry. And they give that crunch. They don't dissolve right away. And like I said, very few calories because your dogs that like treats, they start to put on the weight. Whether they're big dogs or little dogs. Because some of the treats can have a lot of calories in them, right? So these are how we combat that weight gain. What I say to my clients is they're like the rice cakes for people. Where there's no calories. You just crunch, 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 crunch. They're like the rice cakes from the 1980s, right? Although I think they probably have more flavor than the rice cakes. So I think this bag was maybe $6, depends what region you're in. They could be $8. So again, gift for your dog. Here you go. Put my special little bone. Oh, we got more. We got more gifts. So with food, well, I'll switch later. Here, this one is my favorite.
Stop.
Okay. Email me to find out the exact code for this one. Okay. This one, you put the treats in it, like those dry Charlie bears in the hole. Okay. And these are all holes too. Each dog, I've noticed, treats this different. This one dog, she takes it in her mouth and she throws it. Just hit the water, which was near the phone. Yeah. Okay. We're good. We're everything's okay. Everything's okay. She would take it in her mouth and throw it and try to bounce the treat out. Another dog had this spinning thing she would do. It's just spin it as fast as they can. Now the reason I say I would like you to email me to get the exact code is because this comes in different sizes. And I've noticed at people's houses, it looks like this on the screen, right? Because we're only on screens. And it's actually about an inch smaller. And their dog with that version can actually get the top off. Because the bigger they are, the thicker this rubber is. And that's what makes it indestructible for our big guys.
Okay.
Yeah. And this thing, because of all these little holes, I tested it out first. You do not want to put liquid items in it. You don't want to put peanut butter in it. You don't want to put yogurt in it. Trust me, it's a nightmare. Just dry stuff.
Okay.
Just try. Okay. So I just call this the orange pineapple, the pineapple. It's sold on Amazon. Again, you want the exact code for me because you want you want the correct one. You don't want to knock off one or one that's smaller because then your big dog will just that part right off. Okay, I think that's like $30. Now that's presents. So we had bully sticks, calorie-free treats, anti-anxiety treats. This is more of a treat for the human and the animal.
Give me treat or you're a bitch.
Okay. Okay, so now human food. This is not for dogs. I mean, they can have it, okay? But I'm going to talk about okay, if I were a dog and there are dogs like this, when there's good food around, I will eat until I'm sick. I did it yesterday because we went to food from Trader Joe's. I have food, but, I got, I got food, right, for the holidays. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I made some coffee at midnight and it had that gingerbread, hazelnut, creamer, whatever the heck I bought, right? And I'm like, whoa, that doesn't agree with me. So you've got some dogs that do the same thing. They will eat your people food, their dog food. They'll, oh, this is good. This is good. Like they'll eat the cranberries, the turkey, this stuff, the cheesecake, whatever you got. And they're like, oh, that's good. And they'll drink beer. Oh, that's good. And then 2 a.m, you hear, right? And they're throwing up on carpet because they can't make it to the kitchen door. So as we talk about presents and food, there's also that to keep in mind, that just because they're eating it and they like it, doesn't mean they're not going to throw up later. Okay, because just like some humans, and there's more dogs like this than, we humans have like learned not to do things that'll make us throw up. But the dogs, I don't know, they're very instinct driven. So when it's good food, it's going in. And then if they don't throw up, oftentimes their poops are very different. So here we come to the other part of it. During the holidays, if they get anxious, the bowels move more. So you might have to take them out more. If they've been eating people food or more treats, then their poop is going to change. Maybe it's looser, not diarrhea, but looser, right? So we've got all that to consider. So consider putting a pee pad down at night in your bathroom or where they have access to in case they need to have one of these strange bowel movements. Right. It's not their fault. They'd hold it if they could. They're not feeling well when that happens. Got a little bit of Charlie bear stuck in my throat.
How does it?
It doesn't dissolve real fast. They're very good treats. You get a lot for your money out of those things. I think it's okay now. And their bladder also, when they get anxious, the bladder starts to do this. So it actually kind of shrinks a little bit. Does it in us human mammals too. So they might have to go outside more. And you're thinking you just were outside an hour and a half ago. But if things are different, you're home from work, you have guests, you've left for 2 days, things get changed up around the holidays. Yeah, they might have to go pee more because their bladder shrinks because of the anxiety of the changes. They're not trying to mess with you. They're the ones being messed with. And their body's doing what it can to assimilate. And that's what happens. It's just like, people get on a long car ride, 2 hours into it, they're like, oh yeah, I gotta go. But you just went before we left. But just the whole anxiety or the thought of not being able to go sometimes makes a person feel like they have to go. And that's real. The body is real. The bladder really does go from here to here. Okay. The last topic until we consult with Patrick is the grief. So if you've lost a pet this year, if you lost a pet the year before, even, I started thinking about Chico. Chico's been gone now a year and a half, or he dropped his body a year and a half ago, and was thinking about him today, how he always was with me everywhere, every room I was in. He was with me. He was with me in the car. He was with me, and people can start thinking about that. A lot of us, we don't get another pet right away. So if you do, make an appointment with me. I get it. You can talk about them, fly your animal freak flag for a half an hour, and we'll run processes. Remember, I trained to work with humans and trauma and grief and all that. We'll run processes, and as you know, I can hear animals, so see what your animal has to say, and where they are in the cosmos, if you choose. So somewhere down below in the description, there's a link to the website. On the website, there's a button where you book a diagnostic call, blah, 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 and an email. Okay, now, Patrick, check in.
Hey, how's it going? So I want to know how that dog treat tasted.
Well, it tastes like a beef bouillon. Like they must
those
have
are really
soaked them in
salty.
beef bouillon, but it's really, really dry. That's why I compare it to rice cakes, because it's super dry.
Okay.
Even though it's grain free.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, on the bag, it says what's in it. I don't know what's in it. But I do test the dog foods and dog treats. I actually test them on myself. I mean, I don't eat a lot of it, but it's like if I'm
I hope not.
if I'm not willing to eat it, I don't give it to my animal.
Okay.
That's how I roll. So it's like I realize it's not human grade food, but yet,
You want to know what's in it.
I don't know. See, it doesn't dissolve real fast either, which, like I said, you get a lot for your money as far as a treat when these things. They're called Charlee bears, because the little dogs especially start to gain weight from treats. People, oh, they're so cute, and they give them a treat, and they have, they get 5 to 10 of them a day between neighbors and family, and they get the padding. They start getting padding around their ribs,
and then they waddle when they walk.
and they waddle when they walk. What is in this? Well, this one is chicken, pumpkin, and apple flavored.
Okay.
Guaranteed. Crude mix. Crude protein. Crude fat. Crude fiber. I don't know what that other word is unless it says moisture. It does have ingredients there. Peas, chickpeas, chicken, potato, starch. That looks like pea too, that word pea. Liver, dried egg. Oh, that's how they're making it stick together. Dried egg, dried pumpkin, dried apples. So yeah, wow. And it means the print's pretty big if I can read it. Also, so there you go.
Okay.
For yous that need readers, this is also a good treat because you can read the package. What is this? Oh yeah, 3 calories per treat. It's in here. It's in like 1/2 inch letters. 3 calories per treat.
And
I don't know how many calories a dog needs a day, but this only has 3.
And what is servings per day? Recommended servings per day? Does it say?
I don't know, Mr. Patrick.
Does it say?
It might, but I've never read the whole package.
Okay.
Like I said, I tasted
Well, I suppose it
myself.
depends on how many calories you want to give your dog a day.
Yes, you study that stuff more. You know how much food to give your dogs and all that.
Know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it is dry. Well, yeah. Oh, I use the treat tray. It's in the car because, you know, I use it when I visit people's houses when I do the babysitting for fur babysitting. But the treat trays, which are called food puzzles, and I would recommend level 3 or 4 for most dogs. Amazon sells, not Amazon, Costco sells one, but it's like level 2, so it's too easy. And so it shifts the plastic top over, and then there's the treat underneath. So it's like, well, I've done a show on the treat trays before. So these
Mhm.
would be put in the treat trays also. And the actual reason I first bought the treat trays was not to give Chico mental activity. No. It was for me because I would try and watch my story and he would want a treat like every 30 seconds. And it was interrupting me watching my soap opera, right? This is my time, me time. So I bought the treat tray, the puzzle, thinking I could put the treats in there, close it up. You lock some of the doors with levers, and the dog has to figure out how to pull the lever. And Nina Ottoson is the maker, the brand name that I like, Nina Ottoson. And God, what is there? Some of them have 36 compartments. Some of them have only 12 compartments. So you fill it up, and like I said, I can break these Charlie bears in half, and then put it down for the dog so they can work to get the treats out of the compartments, and I can watch my story in peace. But he got pretty good at it, so he would just go boom, 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 after a while. So then so it really only bought me 5 minutes of, so yeah, if you want it, you get your dogs that also gulp. I like to use those treat trays for the dogs that gulp their food because it slows them down. And thinking is part of eating for a dog because catching their prey is part of their experience of eating. So this is actually enjoyable for them. And if they don't want to do it, like Mr. Champ, who's a retired show dog, Mr. Champion, a Tibetan Spaniel, I put it down for him. He just looked at it. I left it in his room with him for 24 hours with a treat in it. Didn't even bother. He's just like, it's not even worth my effort. That looks like manual labor.
I have people for that.
I have people for that. They get it out of the bag and they hold it like this. Like I'm going to use my paw or my nose on that Aki tray you have there. No. And then some dogs are just like the husky tried to chew off part of it. That was her way of getting inside. She wasn't going to open a lever. She was just going to chew the lever off. But she was getting it open one way or another. So you'll know right away with those puzzles whether your dog is going to participate and happy to participate, or like Mr. Champion is not going to participate. Anyway, so what else, Patrick? What?
That's it. I'm not got nothing.
Okay. All
That's it.
right. All right. So got the grief. Let me know. We got the fun buttons for you and your
Give me treat or you're a bitch.
I don't know why I think that's funny. Sometimes they look at you like that, like give me the treat, and if you don't give it to them, they're like, you know. He can reach the treats. I know he can reach the treats. Each of them has their own personality. You know, there are some that would never think a bad word. And then there are others that swear like, you know, a sailor kind of. So we get the food, you know, and try not to let them throw up. Eat so much that they throw up. Put a pee pad out during the holidays in case they got that poop issue or the vomit issue, and they can at least maintain some of their dignity by getting it on your pee pad, because they don't want to vomit or poop on your carpet either. Their smell is 40 times greater than yours. They don't want to smell that going forward either. Yeah. Okay, thanks for joining us. Bye.